most guitar upgrades people spending money on don't necessarily fix the problem or bring the results they were hoping for, like locking tuners. Overrated. Before changing pickups, you can try to do something else. Meanwhile, one thing ruining your tuning costs like $10 and nobody talks about it. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, your guy Buddy Pumba here. Like and subscribe, and today I want to talk about guitar upgrades. Which upgrades make sense, when to do it, or try something else before doing that. So I would like to begin with number one, which is, like, in my opinion, biggest scam or made for lazy people. It's guitar tuners. So I remember back in the day I had my first Les Paul, and of course G-string makes some jokes and it doesn't stay in tune. You bend too hard, it runs away from you, you know. So I figured out, well, I need new tuners. It didn't solve the problem, so make sure you'll stick around and I'll explain you who will solve the problem. Talking about locking tuners, most likely they won't change your tuning stability unless you wrap your strings really bad. But I would really suggest to look into this video. I will add it in the comments. It's doesn't matter what guitar you have, but PRS guitars made a perfect example how to lock your strings with non-locking tuners. So I'm re-stringing the guitar exactly the same way like in that video and have no problem at all. So before spending money on locking tuners, evaluate the price and evaluate your time learning how to lock your strings by yourself. Now the other upgrade I would like to talk about, which in my opinion is completely overhyped and based on the trends, based on what everybody else is using, is guitar pickups. So people want some changes in their sound, so the first thing that pops into their head is pickups, right? And it kind of makes sense. Medium output Gibson pickups, and I would like to go into some kind of brutal metal territory. Yes, we would go with active pickups, something really high output, and it will make a difference in the sound. So if you have something like this, a Les Paul with Gibson stock pickups, which are 50s burst buckers, and I would like to play something like classic rock, Guns N' Roses slash tone. I want slash tone, and a lot of people will buy Seymour Duncan slash set. But is it going to change the sound drastically? So for example, let's pick my Gibson Les Paul and let's play with pickup heights. Now, in my opinion, when we're talking about classic guitars or classic style guitars, pickup sound is going to shine when you're playing cleans, when you're playing break on the edge, when you're playing with a little overdrive. But if we go into that metal category, it's just a matter of gain. You turn on your amp or modeler or whatever. That's it. So let's hear how this Les Paul sounds with a little bit of overdrive. I'll play some rhythm, play some lead. Let's see. Let's turn the neck pickup for leads. Let's take the screwdriver and lower the pickups down by, let's say, 2 times 360. I know it's a drastic change, but but you will hear the difference immediately. Immediately, way less gain, more warm tone, more natural feel, because they're they're away from strings, so pickup is less involved into the sound, and you have more vibrations and whatnot, whole level world. So let's bring it back 2 times 360, and let's raise it up through 2 times 360, and let's see how that sounds. Alright, so we have our pickups really high, so let's see how that sounds. Immediately, well, close to metal. So now you can think a little bit before buying. Just be careful once your pickups are too close to strings. So the magnets might start bringing your strings into more vibration, and you might have a trouble staying in tune. So keep that in mind, but go into that adventure. Like, don't rush to change the pickups. It won't change your life. It's the same story if you're a new guitar player especially, and you buy yourself a tube screamer, because everybody used tube screamer, and you just pop it in, it sounds like shit. But if you put enough amount of gain on the amp, and you turn the level almost on zero, and it starts shining, amp starts breathing. So more or less the similar story I have with guitar pickup heights. I needed some time to find the right spot for me. You will begin where your manufacturer tells you what's their default height, and then you go from there. So try before spending money on another pickup, which might be, you might install it too low and it won't sound as you would imagine, you know what I mean? So let's talk about the stuff that really matters. And one of the key upgrades I would always encourage everybody to look into is guitar nut. Nut is really important. So getting back to my story about why I changed the Gibson tuners. Well, I didn't, they were good. I just thought they were bad because I wasn't able to stay in tune. But the main problem was the guitar I had was Tokai, made in Japan, Les Paul copy, and it was not of the expensive models, but it had the cheaper nut, and either you need to file the nut to make a, you know, better holes for the strings to move more freely, because it might had like string binding at the nut, or just simply replace the nut with something more high-end or like self-lubricating tusk nuts. This is $10 to $20 upgrade, and you can do it yourself. You need a little bit of the glue, but just to hold the nut into place. As a small drop of like wood glue is perfect, but it's super simple to do. Just in the worst case scenario, don't glue the nut. You can just pop the old one out, put it there, strings will hold it, and you will have way better tuning. Now, another upgrade I would really encourage everybody to take a look into is guitar electronics. If you have cheaper guitar, you may want to look into the pots, into the capacitors, everything there, because if you want to do a good test about how electronics works, or every component what you use with your guitar works, I would definitely recommend to try to buy like 1 meter cable and plug from your guitar to the amp or modeler, versus like 20 meters cable, like super long one or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm hard in those inches. You will see that the short cable brings you a lot of clarity. So the same happens in guitar too. Like if you have better components in your guitar, one of the great examples I can show you what it means, how your pots are working. Let's say I'm using amp modeler, I'm using Quad Cortex. If I push a lot of gain, let's say, right? Like standard or lower grade electronics, you might have some trouble to go from 10 to 5 to 3 to 0 volume at your pot. So let's say I'm playing right now at 10, and I turn the volume knob at 5. So it goes significantly down, and if I turn it on 2, okay, we're very close, but if I turn it to like 7 volume, it means that it walks like very dynamically. What happens with cheap electronics, when you're full on volume at 10 and you just turn the volume down to like 7, it feels immediately like you're at around like number 1 or number 2. Plus the capacitors, wiring, like why we have 50s and 60s wiring on Les Pauls, for example, it really makes a big difference. Like in tone clarity, how your tone knob works, maybe it immediately muffles the sound, or maybe you have more flexibility in there, you know what I mean? So this is the upgrade I'm talking about, which really makes sense to invest, because it will change the sound maybe more than pickups if you're switching between 59 and 60s Les Paul pickups, let's say, you know, where it is a difference, but it's not that big of a difference, you know what I mean? Now let me grab my PRS 594. I just had the Les Paul 50s, which is like simple as it could be, and PRS 594 should be a vintage instrument in a modern body, let's say, right? So right here is exactly the same: 2 humbuckers, 2 volume knobs, and 2 tone knobs. If you're looking for a good upgrade from Les Paul, let's say where you're limited to 3 positions only: bridge, both pickups, and 1 pickup. So here I can do the same on Les Paul to install an upgrade of pots, to switch split coils and whatnot. So I immediately have millions of sounds. So if I take, let's begin from the bridge position. I can split the bridge into the single coil. Now I have 2 pickups fully open. Now I split only bridge and I have full neck pickup. Now I can split both pickups and play with both split coils. Now I split only neck pickup and bridge is in full. Now I have my neck pickup split. Now I have my full humbucker neck. So instead of buying a new guitar, you can try to unlock what you already have. I know the feeling when you want something new right here, right now, you want to try this and that, but in my opinion, what guitarists should really upgrade is the knowledge of what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. Maybe you can try to do something, and let's say, in my opinion, the really great upgrades are guitar nut, high-end electronics. Find the pickup heights which works best for you, and if you're short of sounds, you need more versatility, install push-pull pots, and you're good to go. Upgrades like locking tuners, you can lock it yourself. And you know, talking about pickups, why I'm saying a lot about pickup heights, it's not pickups itself only. I used to play metal with rail mini humbucker. It worked because you can play with your pickup height, because you can play with your gain, EQ, distortion, overdrive, preamps, whatever. There's millions of other things you can try before swapping them. So I really hope that today's video helped you to think a little bit more from a different point of view about guitar upgrades. I would be more than happy to hear your stories. How did that go with your upgrades, especially the first upgrades for your guitar? I'm pretty sure they should be funny, so hey, leave a comment, like and subscribe. I'm your guy, Buddy Pumbaa, and I will see you next Sunday. Take care.